looking for a fight, you came to the right place. I'll prove to you just how strong I really am!
I don't have time for your posturing. Move or I'll go through you.
Okay, rolling for first player.
First player. Okay, 11 on a 2. So, I would like to play on the A side. Because I want more structures, because I'm hopefully going to smash you through all of them.
That sounds terrible, but I'm into it.
Let's do it. Okay, first structure. I'll deploy second and take the second turn.
I'll deploy first and take the first turn then.
That is what you will do.
Start here.
Okay. I will start right here.
I thought you might.
Yes. First turn is yours.
3 power. Now I've got a whole lot of movement. So what I'm going to do is just run away. 4, 5, 6.
All I'm imagining is the Sinistar run voice.
That's where I'm at.
Run!
And there I shall be.
That plagued my childhood. That's end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Advance your cooldown meter.
Very well.
Beginning of my turn, with Kong, I'm playing with Ultimate Price. Kong has the special ability across all of her pilot abilities that she always gains 1 power token alongside the upkeep choice. But specifically, I can also pay 1 fighting spirit during my upkeep to place 1 target token on any unoccupied hex. So that just means a hex without a structure or a robot in it. So, beginning of my upkeep, I'm going to gain a power token. I have no fighting spirit, so I'm not going to place a target token, but I'm going to choose heart. So I'll go up to 5. And then I'm going to advance.
These are our target tokens?
Those are the target
I'm going
tokens.
to swap these over.
That makes sense. Thank you.
I assume you don't have barriers coming up anytime
Oh
soon.
no. Yeah, I guess keeping anchors and target tokens right here is ideal.
In fact, I'm going to give you the fire
yeah,
tokens.
power surge. No, you should have power surges. Okay, there we go. This is a little more convenient.
You see, Dai-Raijin occasionally uses power surges to help himself.
I've heard the rumors.
Yes.
I'm going to spend my movement. I'm just going to head straight towards you. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right into these structures. To those structures right there. Then I have no cooldown 0 cards. I'm just going to end my turn.
Okay. I'll take the fighting spirit this time. And I'm going to keep running. This time I'm going to run the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Your definition of running away is a little nebulous.
Well, I'm running away from where I was.
Maybe just running.
I'm running around.
We're all running from something.
Yes. I don't see any reason not to begin doing things, right?
Nope.
So, with my 4 fighting spirit, I will start with a very exciting dink donk 2-point ionize exclamation mark fire! And I will not be doing any of its combo moves. I will just be playing it straight as is, hoping to get a little damage out. Not much damage at all.
I have nothing in range. I'll just let it through.
I thought you might.
You can just blast me.
All right, that is only 1 damage.
So I'm going down to 44 armor. And for my Ranger power, I'm going to gain fighting spirit, so I will go up to 10.
I do in fact gain a power surge. That goes in here. And I will end my turn.
For my upkeep, I'm going to first gain my power token, and then I'm going to choose heart again, so I'll go up to 15 fighting spirit. This time I am going to pay the 1 for Kong's ability and drop a target token. Yeah, it'll be right here. Right behind you.
Okay.
I'm going to spend my movement. I'm going to go 1 and a 2 between you and the structure. And then I'm going to pay 3 fighting spirit, which is going to take me down to 11, and I'm going to play Black Hole Suplex. So ideally, I will throw you onto the target token and then be able to trigger off one of Kong's abilities later to take advantage of it. Any responses?
No, I am going to just take the defense die.
Okay. So this gives me 2 dice. I am going to spend 1 power token to add a power die to my roll.
Oh. All right, cool, let's do it.
Okay. So I got a 10, a 9, and a 3.
I have 4, so that takes care of your 3, but you still have 2 hits.
This is true. I have no responses. Any from you?
No, sir.
Okay. So I throw you 1 hex.
Because you can't throw me into the building.
Cannot throw you into the building right now. throw you on top of the target token. It'll just do 1 damage.
Puts me down to 29. Fighting Spirit for Rage. Puts me at 10.
And then I will end my turn.
I get my Fighting Spirit, 4.
Okay.
Then I move here. And now I'm going to play a combo that starts with the Bolt Caster, and then the Volt Spike, and the Ionized Fire. That costs a total of 11. Puts me down to 3 Fighting Spirit.
I'm going to respond to your combo by playing an instant.
Okay.
I'm going to pay 1 Fighting Spirit, take me down to 10. I'm going to play Dogs of War. It says, when this card is activated, means successfully played, goes in my cooldown meter, place 1 target token on any unoccupied hex, and then when it returns to my hand, I can inflict 3 damage to any 1 targeted hex.
Cool.
And then I remove that target token from play. Any responses?
No.
Okay, so it's dropping down. It's gonna go right over here, the other side of that structure. And then this goes activated into my cooldown meter at slot 2. I'm going to, now that you're in better position, I'm gonna play Black Hole Suplex again.
Okay.
Taking me down to 7 Fighting Spirit. Give me 2 attack dice.
I have 5 out the gate for this.
And you have 3 power tokens open.
Which, let's start with just these 5 here. I think that's probably enough. I don't think I need to use those power tokens. I will, however, activate my double dagger, which will allow me to reroll any unsuccessful melee attacks once.
You have no power tokens, so can't add extra dice. I'm going to spend my last power token to add a power die to my roll.
Great.
So 3 and 5. Got a 10, a 3, and a 1.
I have a 10, so let's clear those out.
That is tying out.
And my 2 beats your 1, but your 3 beats my 2.
But your 9 and your 5 and your other 9 beat,
So that gives me
all the
a
things.
net 3 successes. So let's
Yes.
start to resolve this combo. We start with the Bolt Caster. Bolt Caster is going to be throw your opponent 1 hex per success, and the damage total is 1. I will throw you into this building, obviously.
So let's resolve
Get
impact
that
card.
Impact.
Power source. You reach through the debris and connect with the building's generator, giving your robot a visceral jolt of power. Receive a power token. That's fun. And then I can activate 1 deactivated card in my cooldown meter.
That may not be good.
Let's see. Let's find out. I'm going to activate Scorched Earth. When this card is activated, place a target token on any occupied hex. I get to do that immediately now that it's been activated. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put it right behind you. And then when this card returns to my hand, I get to create an Inferno on any one targeted hex and inflict 1 fire to all adjacent hexes. But now comes the other bad things for me. I receive 2 damage, an extra 2 damage.
1 from the Bolt Caster, so that's 3.
1, 2, 3 so far. And then it also creates an arc hazard.
Which is good for me.
It is very good for you.
So that was interesting. Let's have a little bit of back and forth on that.
I'm going to gain a power surge immediately. Let's find out how much more death is happening.
All right, so now we move on to phase 2 of this combo, Volt Spike. Volt Spike is going to do 2 damage and inflict 1 power surge to the opponent.
Yep.
Then it is played as part of a combo, so I'm going to decrease the minimum range of the following piece by 1, which is important because otherwise it would not trigger. The Ionized Fire triggers 1 damage, and I gain a power surge. Which now, because I have 2 or more power surges in my cooldown meter, I can play Ionized Fire for free. And Ionized Fire does 1 damage.
So I'm down to 38. And I'm gonna gain Fighting Spirit from a Rage.
And that entire combo goes into cooldown slot 1. And is cheaper to play next turn.
Yep. Efficient Dai-Raijin V Electro Death.
I think that's a good place to stop.
Okay.
So I will get my entire hand of cards. Send some power surges down this here train, which have timed out nicely, not stopping any cards from moving.
It's true.
And pass turn.
Okay. So I'm going to gain power token. And then I'm going to gain, I'll do heart once again, which is going to take me up to 17. I will spend 1 Fighting Spirit to drop another target token.
And don't forget that you're starting on an arc hazard.
This is true. So also as part of my upkeep, I gain another power surge, but I also gain a power token. I've got a pretty good economy going. I'm going to spend my movement. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and 4 out of my possible 5. And then I'm going to play a combo. I also have combos, and the combo is going to be Burst Chain, Harpoon Upper, and then Harpoon Counter. So the total of that is 7 Fighting Spirit, which is going to take me down to 9. It will give me a total of 3 dice. But what will happen is I can pull you into an adjacent hex, I can punch you with the Harpoon Upper, and then I can punch you and throw you 1 additional hex for Harpoon Counter.
I only have 3 Fighting Spirit. 1. Ion Intake. Till the end of the turn, whenever I take damage, I get 3 Power Surges.
I have no instants or abilities to play at the moment.
I'm just going to roll a defense die.
Yeah,
I'm just going to try and mitigate a little bit of that damage.
Okay. In that case, I'm actually going to spend a power token. And I'm going to activate Star Spanner, which says, while activated, your melee attack cards inflict +1 damage, which is especially good for combos. It's not just the total attack, it's per card. Any responses to that?
No.
Okay. I am going to add a power token. And by power token, I mean I'm going to spend a power token to add a power die to my roll. So I'm going to now have 4 dice.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. 4, 7, a 1, and an 8.
My 4 cancels your 4.
It's
That's
true.
Still 3 successes.
3 successes.
That's not great.
So I have no more instants or abilities to play. Do you?
No.
Okay, let's resolve it. So I get to pull you into a hex adjacent to me, which is just going to be over here. And then that'll do 1 damage.
1 it is.
Yeah. +1 for Star Spanner.
2.
2 damage. Then a Harpoon Upper, which is another total of 2 damage.
2 more. It's 4.
And then another 2 damage for Harpoon Counter, which allows me to throw you to a hex adjacent to me. I'm going to keep you right there for now.
So, at the end of that attack, I get 3 Power Surges, and then I also am going to take Fighting Spirit in Rage, so I'm going to go back up to 10.
Cool.
And I will play an instant.
Okay.
And that instant is going to cost me 3. And it's Power Amp. While activated, each time this card is affected by a Power Surge, and there's 3 at that slot, in my cooldown meter, I will gain 1 power token. It'll only get affected once, but it's going to be very easy for it to be affected.
Your entire cooldown meter is just going to be, you're just going to be raking it in. I'm going to end my turn. But what happens now is because Scorched Earth is about to return to my hand, I get to activate it.
Yes.
So what happens is that I get to create 1 Inferno on any 1 targeted hex, which I do not want to do onto yours because I don't want you to get the extra rage bonus, especially playing with Takashi, but I can do it next to you. So I'm going to explode that target into an Inferno, but then it inflicts 1 fire to all adjacent hexes. So
Great. I mean, not great.
This is yours, sir.
Bad, but...
Yes. And none of the good things about Infernos. And that's my turn.
All right, so at the beginning of my turn, I will take my Fighting Spirit in Heart, putting me up to 11. Okay, I'm going to move.
I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to spend 4, actually, to go down to 5 to play an instant. Specifically, have to do it in response to you declaring your movement. So you can still counter it, possibly. But Burst Chain Sarujin. Your opponent must perform a recovery roll, and on a failure, they cannot spend their movement this turn.
We'll do a recovery roll real quick.
You pass!
I pass!
It's all meaningless!
I'll go ahead and spend my movement by moving here, off of that token.
Okay.
Now I'm going to use, once again, that same 3-card combo I did before in the same order, so I will open with the Bolt Caster and follow up with a Bolt Spike and an Ionized Fire. For a total of 11. Exactly all I have. Fighting Spirit.
It's going to give you another 5 dice.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to also clear out all my Fighting Spirit.
Why not?
Because that's always smart. I'm going to go down to 0. I'm going to respond with Luna Vault. Give me 2 dice. 2 attack dice. If it's successful, I can leap to a hex adjacent to you, then throw you 1 hex.
All right.
To a hex adjacent to me.
That will not be good, but let's see who wins.
Okay.
I have no power tokens to add and no responses, so I'm just going to get my 5 dice here.
I have 1 power token left. I'm going to burn it to add a power die.
All right.
11, a 9, and an 8.
I have 2 11s.
And a 12.
And a 12.
So let's clear this out.
So then we have 12, 11, 10, 1, 4 successes. Which is great, because now I'm lined up for doing what you were going to do to me.
This is happening again.
Begin with... Oh, goodness. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice these wonderful Volt Spike and Ionized Fires just to throw you with the Bolt Caster.
These are difficult choices with combos. Sometimes
I mostly
you need the
did
combo
the Volt
break.
Spike and the Ionized Fire to get the extra dice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw the Bolt Caster now for a total of 4. Throw you 1 hex per success and inflict 1 power surge per success. So
Where am I landing?
So I'm going to throw you into this building.
Okay. And
So
off
you
I
kind
go.
of flip up over this one and end up tucked around back there.
This is a very delicate building pass. But what happens is that when I collide with the building is obliteration. Your robot's massive chassis creaks as you careen through the steel and glass structure. It is a tier 2 structure, so I receive an additional 4 damage. So the total will be 5 then.
5.
Because it's going to do a combo break, which is going to take me down to 33 armor. And it creates rubble underneath me.
Okay. And of course, I do not get the Volt Spike or Ionized Fire resolved, but still worth it for the dice, and still worth it because they all go straight back into cooldown slot number 1.
I'm going to choose to gain 5 fighting spirit for my rage.
I am out of Fighting Spirit, so it seems like a really good time to end my turn.
Okay.
Now, I've got a lot of stuff to handle here at the end of my turn. I gotta leave one thing behind with this Power Surge, so I will leave Ionized Fire off. And then I will leave Ion Intake where it is because of this Power Surge moving here. Fire moves over 1 and I take 1 damage. Power Amp stays put as I move these 3 Power Surges over. One of these Power Surges, of course, left it there, which gives me a Power Token. That's the lot. That's all of it.
So then for my upkeep, I'm going to choose Heart, go up to 10. Gain my free power token for Kong's ability. And this turn, I'm not going to spend Fighting Spirit to drop a target token.
This is a pretty high-risk position that I put myself in, because I have no Fighting Spirit left.
I'm going to spend my movement. I'm starting on rubble, so it's going to cost me 2 extra movement to exit. So I can only move 3 hexes. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, adjacent to this skyscraper. And then now I'm going to actually just end my turn, just right there.
Okay.
So Power Surge is advanced, all this comes back to my hand. Dogs of War resolves. When this card returns to your hand, inflict 3 damage to any 1 targeted hex, and then remove the target token from play.
Is that mandatory?
It is mandatory, so this one is getting detonated.
Good.
I'm going to keep
The
the
one I
others.
most wanted to go away.
This all comes back to my hand. Power Surge is advanced. So I got 3 in cool in slot 1, and top of the turn is yours.
It's not really worth it to take my power, so I got this 1 and I'm going to be getting more, so I'll take the Fighting Spirit for 4. Really need you to punch me once or twice here. And
Come get punched. I'm all about the punching.
I'm going to move, using my movement speed of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get your Power Surge.
Gives me a Power Surge. And then your movement speed is 5.
It is
This
5.
isn't getting me that far away, so I'm going to keep running. 5, 6, 7. I will end my turn there.
Okay.
So, again, lots of stuff to cycle, or not cycle in this case, as Power Surge goes away. The card stays put. These 3 Power Surges go over. The 1 card there stays put. The Fire goes over. I take 1 damage. That's getting really irritating. And I get to the Power Amp card, where the Power Surge moves over. It stays put, and I get a Power Token.
Well played, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, top of my turn. I'm gonna choose Heart again. I'm gonna go up to 15. I'm gonna gain my free power token. This time I am gonna spend a Fighting Spirit, and I'm going to drop a target token down. You know what? I'm gonna drop it right over here. I'm gonna spend my movement. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right next to the target token. And then I'm going to play a combo. It is going to be Burst Chain to pull you 2 hex adjacent to me, Black Hole Suplex to throw you 1 hex, and then afterward, play Harpoon Counter again, throw you 1 additional hex. The total is 8 fighting spirit. It's going to take me down to 6. And give me 3 dice right now.
I'll take the defense then.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll these 2 defense dice. And I think I'm probably just going to end up getting a whole bunch of rage anyway, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm going to spend a power token to add a power die to my roll.
I'm not sure there's a whole lot I can do against it. 2 10s.
That's but 2 12s. And a 10. So one of our 10s.
All right, so it's still just your 2 successes.
Yeah. I don't have any responses at the moment. Do you have anything?
No.
If that's the case, I am then going to play an instant.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 fighting spirit. I'm going to go down to 4. I'm going to play Fear. Until the end of turn, whenever your opponent gains rage, trigger inflict 1 panic to your opponent.
So I'm going to flash counter that.
I was hoping you were not going to do that. I have no responses to that.
Well, you got a 50-50 shot here still.
That's true.
On a success, I cancel your instant.
That's a success.
That is a success.
So it's not happening. But the damage will still go through. So Burst Chain will do 2 damage to you because of the Star Spanner being activated.
Down to 19.
I'm going to pull you to an adjacent hex, which is going to be this tier 1 high rise.
Results, but it's what I got to do. All right, we've got electrolysis.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Great.
There's
Water
only one-
bursts out of the building's foundation, conducting the entirety of its power supply into your robot's systems. X is the amount of power surges in my cooldown meter, which is 4. Tier 1, I receive X plus 2 damage, that is 6 additional damage, and I remove up to 6 fire or power surge tokens in any combination from my cooldown meter, up to 6. I'm gonna get rid of the fire and nothing else. That said, I'm still taking an extra 6 damage from that hit, so down to 13. And it creates a flood, which is, I don't know why I bothered in a lot of ways here. Because the flood is going to, as soon as I enter it, remove a fire. And then when I start a turn, I remove all fire cooldown slots. But I don't have any fire left. So,
But it will advance your cooldown meter at the beginning of your turn.
That's true.
But you will not be starting your turn there.
I didn't think I would.
No.
I just don't like that it's there. I don't like that it's on the map at all.
There's only one electrolysis in the entire deck.
Oh.
There are a few unique cards in the impact deck, and that is one of them.
Well, I feel special.
You are special. Now, Black Hole Suplex, I'm going to throw you 1 hex.
That was all still the first card.
Yeah. So it's going to go into this tier 1 high rise.
This is the O-Gun problem.
It is the Ogun problem. It's such a good problem. Let's find out what's happening.
Yeah. Here we go. If I survive this, you'll be in some trouble. Collateral damage. You tremble as you lift your robot off the ground, horrified to discover that the building wasn't evacuated after all. This is just a horrible thing. I receive a panic and collect rage.
Yeah.
So that's delightful. And that's in addition to my normal rage, right?
That is true.
So I get 8 rage. So that's going to be Fighting Spirit, obviously, taking me up to 10. It's a tier 1 building, so I get 2 damage, which puts me down to 11.
Yeah. And that's also, you're going to get 2 extra damage for Black Hole Suplex.
Puts me down to 9. And there is rubble where I am standing.
Right there. Harpoon counter. Throw your opponent to a hex adjacent to you. So I'm going to throw you on top of this target token.
Okay.
Even though I do not have anything to activate it with it yet.
And is there damage associated with that?
There is an additional 2 damage.
I'm down to 7. I do get a whole bunch of Fighting Spirit. 17 ain't bad.
Ain't. Especially when I'm sitting at 4. I am going to end my turn.
Okay. So I'm going to take 4 Fighting Spirit for Heart.
True.
2, 3, 4, putting me at 21, which is near my cap. This is the problem I've been having all game. I've not been getting Fighting Spirit fast enough. Of course, I wanted a smaller hit to get the Fighting Spirit, but we'll see how this goes.
I mean, you've also been playing back-to-back 11 cost combos.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I was just hoping to get like 20 or 30 Fighting Spirit a turn, that's all. I'm going to, without moving yet, do a flash combo. Voltcaster. That's 16 Fighting Spirit. So I paid 16 Fighting Spirit, putting me down to 5.
Okay.
Which feels like a very good number to be at, and the correct number according to math. And now I will use these cards to attack you. Now I might be trying to play like too much of a split my style thing, we'll see.
I'm just going to defend with 1d10.
I'm going to add 2 power tokens,
Yeah, I figured.
giving me a total of 7 dice.
That's a lot of dice.
Would you like to add anything to this fight?
Yeah, I'm going to spend a power token. But I'm not going to play an instant. This is going to be very, very bad. 5 and a 7.
All right, well, I got
actually
5. That's going
quite
to
good.
knock your 5 out.
That's true. So I got a 7.
7 actually takes a lot of my roll away.
Yeah, that is lucky. Any targeted rerolls? Any
what
of
if I-
Takashi's
what
targeted
if I were to
rerolls for 1 fighting
Pay
spirit?
2 fighting spirit to do hit for hit,
Interesting.
where I get to roll X dice for my attack roll and re-roll them.
I assumed you were going to do the one die reroll, but
This is gonna, because your 7 would cancel out
Yeah.
all of these dice. I'm gonna re-roll those 5 dice.
so I'm going to keep my 7. I am going to reroll my 5
All right.
into a 10, which gets tied out.
And
Yeah.
all right, so we're moving to 10s. Your 7 gets this 5
got
and this 4 out.
So you're left with a 12 and 9.
That's a
and 8
net
and
gain
11.
of 2. That's nice. So that's
That is quite good.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Any responses?
No.
Let's get this into cooldown.
This is going to hurt.
And let's start resolving this. Let's begin with the flash combo. My successes are 4, so it does 3. I can't pay 8 fighting spirit, so I can't do the huge damage boost. But it's okay. Then I move on to the Cloudbreaker, which is going to do 3 damage, but X is the amount of power surges in your opponent's cooldown meter, which is...
0.
Oh, that cleared out at the end of your last turn. I was
It's
doing my
true.
math based on the counter. I made some play errors here. That's not fun.
You're still doing good damage. I mean, I'm down to 27.
But it could have been so much more.
Well, you're about to throw me very
6,
far.
and then the Bolt Caster kicks in, which is my contingency plan. So, 1 damage for the Bolt Caster, and I throw you 1 hex per success, and inflict 1 power surge per success. So that's 4
Yeah.
power surges. I could have ordered this differently, which would have let the power surges do extra damage, but it would have only been 4 extra damage.
Yeah.
I'd rather throw you into a building, which I think is going to have a bigger payoff. And it removes a building, because then you can't throw me into it.
That's true. You're taking away all my toys.
So the question is, do I want to throw you into that building or that building? And it seems smart to throw you into that building. So here you go.
Okay. Let's find out what the impact is. Immolation!
Sounds pleasant.
With the building's collapse, nothing can stop the fireball within from consuming your robot. I receive 2 fire immediately.
That's not bad for me.
It's not. Then, because it's a tier 2 structure, I'm going to take 2 damage. Then it creates an inferno.
Okay, that's a mixed bag for me. I don't mind you getting the extra fire. I can outrun you for a little while at least.
No. Which gives me another fire, because we treat it as me entering the hex. And then all robots in adjacent hexes would receive 1 fire, but you're too far away.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
All right, let's clear this out. Get everything back into its respective cooldown position.
I'm going to choose Rage to gain 5 fighting spirit, take me up to 9.
I still have 3 fighting spirit and a whole lot of wanting to kill you. However, I did throw you out of range. So I will probably just stop.
Okay.
These 3 power surges clear out, which means these guys stay put. This is 1 power surge. Do I want the Cloudbreaker back? No, I think the Ion Intake is probably a little bit more useful in the immediate. Oh no, I want the Cloudbreaker back. You got some power surges. Maybe I'll get another chance to use it. And unfortunately, my power amp is not doing me any good right now. But it'll catch up.
I'm going to choose Heart, which is going to take me up to 14 fighting spirit. I'm going to gain my power token. I am going to spend 1 to drop a target token on an unoccupied hex. And this time it's going to be right next to me. After my normal upkeep, I'm on an Inferno, so I gain 1 more fire token. And then I get to gain Fighting Spirit equal to my Pilot's Rage, which is another 5, which is going to put me up to 19.
This might be the turn where I die.
Maybe, maybe not. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out together.
Guys, I want you to know, for the record, there is no dishonor to losing to the person who designed every card in the game.
I'm going to spend my movement. I'm going to get off of the Inferno onto this target token. I am then going to spend 2 Fighting Spirit, take me down to 17, and I'm going to play Giga Amp. If you are on a hex with the target token, you may remove the target token from play to trigger gain 1 power token.
Okay.
Any responses?
No.
Okay, it's happening. So this target token goes away.
I'm just happy that you used your movement to get further away from me.
I know. Might seem counterintuitive. But Kong's mercenary forces are airdropping supplies. So I'm going to get a power token. This is going to go to my cooldown meter. I'm going to pay 7. It's going to take me down to 10. I'm going to play another instant. Play System Purge. While activated, if you would gain Fighting Spirit, you may instead remove all tokens from one cooldown slot.
Ooh.
This is hopefully going to stick around.
I think my counter is still in cooldown. That's still floating way back in cooldown too, so you got all kinds of free time here.
This is the best. Okay, so this is going to go activate into cooldown slot 3. So I don't get to use it immediately. I'm still going to get a turn with all this fire and this power and these power surges. Then I'm going to end my turn. I'm immediately going to take 4 damage from the fire. It's going to take me down to 20. That'll move forward. All these cards, thankfully actually to some of the power surges, that's going to keep power surge at cooldown slot 3.
Still,
they're still a big threat, so hopefully I'm going to be able to take advantage of them on your turn. And speaking of which, the turn is yours.
yes it is. I'm going to get 3 power tokens. I do need to get some fighting spirit, so I got 2 choices here. I could run far away from you, or I could jump in the fire.
So if I can't knock you out of the fire, that will be great.
But the odds are you'll knock me out of the fire, and if you can hit me, you'll probably kill me because I'm still down to 7 armor.
Well, that fire damage will trigger separately. So the fire damage won't actually be able to destroy you.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about me getting closer to you and then you punching me.
I don't know why you're worried about that.
So if I get far enough away, maybe you won't be able to reach me.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
the Inferno next to me is strategically primed for you to be in it.
But
Ignore the structure next to it. Just ignore it.
you still have 10 fighting spirit. No, I'm not going to heed your beckoning siren call of doom. I do really need... I'll split the difference. I'm going to go to this Inferno and risk the target tokens.
Okay.
I'm still going to die probably, and this is probably a mistake, but we're going to try it.
Okay.
When I enter, I get fire. Thank you. And we'll end my turn. I take the fire token. I'm going to cycle things over. Power Surge leaves 1 card in this spot. I'll leave the Ionized Fire behind. These guys I'll move over 1. And then the fire moves over 1 and I burn a little bit. 6.
Just a little.
It's making it really easy for you.
Okay. So, my upkeep. I'm going to gain my free power token. Instead of gaining fighting spirit for heart, I'm going to take advantage of System Purge. So when I would gain fighting spirit, I can instead remove all tokens from 1 cooldown slot. So goodbye power surges, goodbye fire.
Yeah, if I could have timed that a little bit better, I could have done a whole lot of damage to you that turn.
Yeah, but you stifled me. I mean, you made me go into the defensive. So we both had to take our moment. So I've resolved my upkeep. I am not going to pay the extra fighting spirit for a target token. You're just going to go 1, 2, and get on top of this high rise.
For the advantage?
Yeah, and then I'm going to end my turn.
Starting my turn, I'll get the fighting spirit, which is 3, puts me up to 6. Also gain my rage, which
and
is
1 fire.
1 fire. My rage being 8 is nice, so that takes me from I'm at 13. I've got 3 turns of life if you don't do any damage to me, so I'm going to run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I will end my turn there. When I end my turn there, the power amp actually activates, but I can't get any power tokens. Power amp stays there, power surge goes away. Panic goes away, which is nice. Fire goes over 1, fire goes over 1, I take 2 damage.
That one panic put in a lot of work.
That one panic put in a lot of work. 3 work, to be specific.
3 works.
Yes. I'm really banking on this honorable defeat card right now.
For my upkeep, I'm going to choose heart again, taking me up to 15. I'm going to gain my power token. I'm going to spend my movement.
You want to respond?
Okay.
By crying.
That's fine. I accept your crying.
Okay.
Your crying resolves.
My crying resolves.
I'm going to stay at elevation. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 onto this high rise.
That puts you at a distance of what, 4?
Yeah, puts us 4 between us. I'm going to spend 1 fighting spirit, taking me down to 14. I'm going to play Dogs of War. Place a target token, and when this comes back to my hand, I can inflict 3 damage to any 1 targeted hex.
Okay.
Response?
No, let that one slide.
Comes happy. Let it slide. It's gonna go here. Target token is gonna drop.
Stay off target. Stay off target.
I'm gonna spend 4 fighting spirit. I'm going to play Black Hole Bomber. Range of 1 to 4 melee attack, but because we're at the same elevation, that'll reach you. It's going to be 1 attack die. And if your opponent is on top of a structure, they collide with that structure. Then throw your opponent 1 hex, then move to the closest hex adjacent to your opponent.
We can't allow this to happen. So I'll play V-Blaster. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. V-Blaster gives me 2 dice. There are no power surges in my cooldown meter, so I don't get any bonus attack dice on it.
I am going to spend power tokens. I'm going to spend, let's add 3 power dice. Gives me a total of 4 dice.
Yeah. I'll spend 3 as well. So that gives me 5 dice. And this is not a melee attack, so my double dagger is not going to help.
4 and 5. 11, a 10, and a 9, and a 4.
I got a 12.
You do have a 12.
The 10s are going to cancel out. Not that that matters too much, because your 11 cancels all the rest of my dice out, which is I have 1 success. Unless it's been a while, and I'm able to play hit for hit again. So, I'm going to choose to re-roll everything that's lower than your 11. These 4 dice.
Okay. I will re-roll these 3 dice then.
Seems reasonable.
And
My
I'm gonna
12 puts me in a pretty good spot on this.
It does. And I'm really hoping you're not going to roll an 11 and just knock me out completely. Oh.
There's an 11 and another 12.
Yep. Okay.
All right, but your 9 is still solid, canceling out 2 of these, which only puts me at 3 successes.
It's not solid enough.
Solid.
That's going to push you. That's going to put you within range to push me through that
tier 1
high
over
rise
there.
behind me. So I'm going to use Star Spanner Sacrifice. If Star Spanner is activated, which it is, you may deactivate it, which means you're going to lose this power token, and pay X Fighting Spirit to trigger reduced damage inflicted to you by your opponent's ranged attack by X. So
that's just the damage from the attack itself, or from the whole
just the
resolution?
attack.
Okay.
Just the attacker. So I'm at 10 Fighting Spirit. I'm going to go down to just 7 to reduce it by 3.
All right, so you'll still take 2 damage from that then.
Yeah. So I'm down to 18 initially.
Okay, and then the push is going to take you 3 straight back into that little tier 1 building back behind you.
It's true. Oh, right into that.
And I've done a lot more smashing you through buildings this game, which is interesting.
You've been having some really excellent attacks in response. So let's find out. Let's find out what my fate is. Burst Fuel Line! A spark from a robot's frame renders a geyser of gasoline into a towering pillar of fire around you. I receive 1 fire. And then, because it was a tier 1 structure, I receive an additional 2 damage. And it creates an inferno underneath me.
That's actually kind of good for you, because you can use the system purge still. And the inferno is going to get that fighting spirit right back up.
If I'm on that hex still.
If you're on that hex still.
Yeah.
That means I have to close, which I wasn't planning on doing.
You're in a pretty good position too, though. So right now I'm at 7 fighting spirit. I think I'm okay with at 16 right now. I'm not going to take advantage of system purge. For my rage, I'm just going to gain fighting spirit to take me up to 12. I'm going to end my turn.
Great. All right, so at the beginning of my turn, I'll take Heart.
She'll
Gives me 4.
Fire will do 2 more damage to me, taking me down to 14.
Putting me up to 7 fighting spirit. Now, without going down, I'm going to move 7. Which should put me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top of this building all the way over here. And there's where Dai-Raijin's movement really comes in handy. I'm in kind of a tricky spot here. So I'm going to try something a little desperate. I'm going to spend 7 fighting spirit for an EMP burst. So myself and all players within range have to perform a recovery roll. If a player fails, they randomly place half their hand into their cooldown meter deactivated. Going for broke.
Okay.
In hopes that I can disrupt whatever your strategy was.
You have no power tokens.
I have no power tokens.
I've got 1 power token.
I'm also out of fighting spirit.
I'm going to add my power token to my recovery roll.
Ah! Let's do it. No! It backfired!
Yes! Yes!
All right. I'm going to shuffle my hand. This is, I think, the only time in the game where you're going to shuffle your hand.
There's a couple random things.
Okay.
But not much. There's not much in terms of card resolution.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 cards. Alex, would you like to do the honors and pick 6 cards at random from this fan?
Sure. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Let's see what I lost. I lost my Stormcaller. which I hadn't had a chance to use yet. My Lightning Glaive, I was looking forward to using that. My Cloud Breaker, my V-Slasher, my Volt Spike, and my Ionized Fire. Oof, those ones hurt the most in some ways.
At least I'll get them back.
Well, I will.
Yeah, at the end of this turn.
It's not like I have any Fighting Spirit to use them with anyway. That seems like all I can do possibly on my turn. So, EMP Burst goes to cooldown. I'll end my turn. I'm going to burn twice. Let's just take care of that right off the bat here. 2 damage puts me down to a whopping 2 armor. And these guys cycle back to my hand. Cloud Breaker goes over, and all these other fellas shift on down 1.
So for my upkeep, I'm going to gain my power token.
In a very bad spot right now with 2 armor and no Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
was
rough.
really banking on that EMP. That was an all or nothing
that's a
move.
rough play.
That was... I put myself into a perfect spot for you to throw me around. I did everything hoping that I could just mess up your plan.
So I've got my 1 power. I'm going to choose Heart, which is going to take me up to 17. Spend 1 Fighting Spirit. I'm going to drop a target token. And I'm going to drop it... Yeah. I'm going to drop it right here. You are in a perfect position right now.
For who?
For me.
Yeah.
To commence the robot punching.
I basically set myself for O-Gun to kill me.
I am specifically going to play Burst Chain Leviathan, Burst Chain, just take me down to 8 from 16. That'll give me 3 attack dice on the roll. Burst Chain Leviathan reads, until the end of this turn, every time your opponent moves or is forcefully moved, inflict +1 damage for each hex they move across. And then Burst Chain will then pull you to a hex adjacent. Mm-hmm. That's the plan.
That's how it's going to go down, huh?
That's how it's going to go down. So, 8 Fighting Spirit.
2 defense dice.
Defending? Okay. I'm not going to spend any power tokens. Sitting with the 3.
Okay.
I'm going to believe in myself.
That's never worked for me. 9 and 2. Okay, all right.
So 11, a 10, and a 5. Your 9 is going to intersect, leaving me 2 successes, but right now I am still successful. So, Burst Chain Leviathan will do the 1 damage to you.
Yes.
Burst Chain will do an additional damage to you.
That takes me to 0.
Takes you to 0. And now, until the end of this turn, every time your opponent moves or is forcefully moved, inflict +1 damage for each hex they move across. So with Burst Chain, to move you to an adjacent hex, I'm going to move you 1, 2, 3, 4 behind me.
And that is
just swing
enough
you around. So I'll do an additional 4 damage.
to overcome honorable defeat. But I'm going to respond
Okay.
by disactivating Double Dagger and standing there looking forlorn as you fling me off the building.
It resolves.
You just killed an unarmed robot. I hope you're happy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Good
Good game, sir.